Unsolved.
The JonBenet Ramsey case. What evidence wasn't staged? In this video, we look at 6 different circumstances or details of the crime scene that suggest that it was staged and that would point to the guilt of either John or Patsy Ramsey. The autopsy shows that JonBenet was strangled to death, and so most people see this as not staging. This is what happened. This was the crime. Why? No one knows, especially when a person wrote a ransom note. That kind of contradicts why she would be strangled. Unless she was going to be strangled and then removed from the house, and for some reason an intruder didn't remove her from the house. But it's hard to conceive why the intruder would not remove her dead body from the house to keep this crime in line with the ransom note. You also have to wonder, did the intruder bring cord with them to make this garrote? And did they think ahead of time that that's how they were going to kill JonBenet? Or were they forced to kill her during the commission of this crime? But I would say this piece of evidence is the least among the list here that it was staged. I'm not saying that it wasn't staged. I'm just saying it's the least among these items that looks staged. Now the ransom note looks staged because mainly the foreign faction angle. The part about the ransom calling and the money in the suitcase, even though it goes into too much detail about these details, it is believable, or it sounds believable. But the main problem of that is JonBenet wasn't kidnapped or removed from the house. But the closing of the ransom note, Victory SBTC, just makes it seem unbelievable and that it was staged to cover up some crime. Now here, these 2 items look clearly staged because, for one, if JonBenet would have struggled, the cord would have been closer to her hand. She would have yanked and pulled on this until the cord possibly got caught on the bottom of her hand. But being tied over top of her clothing, there's a good chance that she would have been able to remove her hand. And then the hair in the knot tied to this broken paintbrush handle, I can't put my finger on it, but it looks so fake. And it doesn't seem to make sense when the cord, I think it's 15 inches to the knot on her neck. That's a long distance away. So it doesn't seem possible that the hair could have been tangled in the knot when she was strangled. It just doesn't look realistic to me. It looks like it was staged. The hair was put in there when the knot was tied or afterwards to make it look like there was some kind of struggle. Now the duct tape on JonBenet's mouth, the police felt, was staged that was put on her mouth after she had passed away, because there were no signs of a struggle with her moving her mouth around or trying to push it away with her tongue or anything. Now, maybe the intruder wanted the crime to look like it was covered up and staged to frame the Ramseys. And so maybe that's why the duct tape was put on her mouth and the other things were done to frame John or Patsy. Now, JonBenet found in the wine cellar with the white blanket wrapped around her and her pink Barbie nightgown right there next to her definitely makes it look like either Patsy or John was the one that killed her, and they had sympathy or feelings for JonBenet, and so she was placed in this manner to the side away. And that's why she wasn't removed from the Ramseys' house, left out in the cold or something. Now, if we were to believe that the intruder did all this staging of the crime scene evidence to cover up this crime, and point the finger at either John or Patsy, why then would they leave this suitcase underneath the window? Doesn't this fact destroy all their efforts to point the finger at John or Patsy? But if John or Patsy were the one to have committed the crime, then this would just be more staging to make it look like the intruder left through the basement window. And what sticks out to me is we're led to believe that the intruder entered and exited the Ramseys' house, the same location that John broke the window to get into the house when he was locked out. Well, this ends this episode of Unsolved, and doesn't it make you even more convinced of your opinion going into this video as exiting watching this video? I'll see you the next weekend. Bye.